Michael Bisping shares thoughts on Khamzat Chimaev's chances against Dricus Du Plessis in their middleweight title clash. The Chechen fighter's career is at an interesting point at the moment. It's been years since his initial rapid rise in the UFC, a period in which he went from an unknown fighter to one of the biggest stars in the company. And while he holds that status, the frequency of activity we've been getting from him has dropped down dramatically. To an extent, that's a natural thing for a fighter on an upward trajectory, but in his case, health-related problems and some other legal issues which caused multiple withdrawals from planned bouts have created a perception of him as an unreliable fighter in the sense of even being guaranteed he's showing up to fight in whatever amount of time is left after an announcement of his next contest. All of that doesn't change the fact that he is a potent threat to DDP's title, and it's one of the best fights we can get on the whole roster. Bisping comments on his chance of beating the South African champion.
Khamzat Chimaev is a force of nature, and he only knows how to fight one speed, and that's why people really enjoy watching this guy fight. He goes forward, he's a straight up killer, he's looking to take you down, do damage, knock you out, squeeze your head off. Whatever it is, he's trying to do damage right from the opening bell. And that's what he's done to almost everybody. 14 wins, 12 stoppages. Only time he's gone to a decision is twice against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. And we know what happened there. He got a little bit tired. And against Kamaru Usman, well, he was kind of lucky to get that decision. I'm not talking shit about Khamzat Chimaev. I think he's phenomenal. But I think he's got some problems here going 5 rounds against Dricus Du Plessis. Moving up to 185, the conditioning will be improved. The strength will be improved. He can take on more nutrients. He can recover better between training sessions. I don't know why everyone doesn't move up a weight class. I said this on a video yesterday, and I'm saying it again right now. Everyone just move up a weight class, okay? The sport will be better.
Paddy PIMBLETT says Ilia TOPURIA might get a little scared after noticing the size difference between himself and Charles Oliveira for the first time. The Scouse lightweight's dominant victory over Michael Chandler inserted him into the top 10 of the division and made it clear that he's got some potential as an elite lightweight, something that was very much in dispute even after his win over Bobby Green. Claims of Paddy benefiting from Dana White privilege were not unpopular, as his career progression was pretty slow, especially considering the level of opposition he faced early on. But now, he's going to have to fight the very best 55ers, and with Topuria's arrival to the division, there's a potential of a massive fight taking place if their paths end up crossing, considering the history between the two. Paddy discussed the Georgian's vacant title bout against Oliveira, pointing out Charles's chin issues on one hand and the size difference on the other as 2 important factors that can affect the outcome. And of course, he talked about how he fits into all of this, particularly if Ilia becomes the new champion.
Do you think Ilia beats Charles then?
I think he might, to be honest. Charles is a bit chinny, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's had about 40 fights or something. He always gets punched. He always gets cracked.
Yeah.
So,
he's reckless, but he's super exciting.
Yeah, he is.
And he's dangerous.
Exciting. If he gets him down, I can see him winning, because that £10 difference is a big difference.
Yeah.
145 to 155, it's a big difference. People don't understand that because they don't watch the sport or they're not involved in the sport. But that £10 makes a big difference. And especially, like, Charles is like my height. It's going to make a big difference. Like, Ilia might get a bit of a fright at how big Charles is when he stands opposite him. Fighters do that with me, who fight at lightweight. It's probably better for me if Ilia wins the belt, lad, because he'll probably call me out.
Yeah, that's
and then I could just fight him. Might even have to fight KG. Could just end up fighting Topuria. But I don't know who I want to win, lad. I'm a fan of Charles, so I think I want Charles to win. But it's probably better for my career if Ilia wins, because I'll more than likely be his first title defense.
Dricus Du Plessis sends a message to Khamzat Chimaev after the announcement of their title fight. Trash talking between these two has been going on for months, long before Dricus defended his belt against Sean Strickland in the rematch. Even then, the South African knew what fight offered him: the most eyeballs, pay-per-view points, and a chance to elevate himself above most title holders in the whole UFC with a victory. Beating Khamzat would do wonders for his career, keeping in mind what position he occupies already, with an undefeated UFC run and a fan base that keeps growing in size. According to everything he's been saying in his media appearances recently, which have all been almost exclusively in Russian, Chimaev seems pretty confident he's taking the belt away from Dricus. In the most recent one, he even said he's not going to watch any tape of the South African, as everybody knows what he's going to do anyway, alluding to attacking with his offensive grappling from the opening bell. In response, Du Plessis warned Khamzat he needs to be prepared to actually die in the cage, because that's the outcome he has accepted if he's not leaving the octagon with the title.
When the night comes, it's not about teaching him a lesson. It's about proving once again that I will be the greatest of all time. and doing whatever I have to prove that. You're only as good as your opponent lets you, and I won't let you look good. I can let you look good, but I can't let you win, unfortunately.
Are you worried he pulls up? He doesn't have the greatest record.
Well, those are the kind of forces that doesn't bother me, because I try not to be concerned about things that I have no control over. UFC always finds a plan. Like I said, I don't prepare for Khamzat. I prepare to be the best Dricus.
Yeah.
So after that, if he pulls out fight week, UFC will get somebody else. There's a lot of contenders right now. And whoever they put in there, I'll be ready for it. Believe me, I'm going to defend it. I'm going to defend it. This, win or die trying. I said, there's no way. I'm not leaving wherever this fight is without my belt. There's no way. The belt doesn't define me. My performance defines me. And unfortunately, for me to be defined, this is the personification of that.
Javier Mendez doesn't rule out the possibility of Islam Makhachev moving up to middleweight to become the first 3-division UFC champion. Speaking with Sean O'Malley's coach, the head of AKA said Islam is not going to be putting much weight on for his fight with Jack Della Maddalena, but when asked about the potential of the Dagestani trying to go for a third belt if he's first able to get the second one, he explained why that would be an entirely different scenario, and why it would be dangerous for Islam to not put on significant amounts of muscle mass before trying to compete with elite middleweights. It's highly improbable to ever happen, but an interesting idea nevertheless, more so when the coach of the fighter who's preparing to face a champion above his weight class who hasn't lost for 18 fights in a row doesn't close the door on the possibility. Here's what Javier said about this.
You know, let's face it, Islam is a fairly big lightweight anyways. So I don't think Jack's gonna have too much weight on him. Maybe come fight time, maybe Jack will have 5-6 pounds. So it's not a huge amount, you know. So I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay.
How do you think Islam would match up against, the potential winner of DDP versus Khamzat? And has Khamzat ever come through to train with you guys?
No, Khamzat's never come to train with us, and for those guys, I definitely feel if that ever does happen somewhere down the line, he's gonna have to put on some weight. That's for damn sure. He's gonna have to put on some weight. Those guys got horsepower. Islam's got the strength, but those guys got horsepower, man. That's he's gonna have to put on some weight. At the way he is right now. No, I would have to put on some weight, but he would do that if something like that ever did happen. He would have to put on the weight.